Good morning student. Today's experiment is salt analysis. So salt analysis is done in 3 steps. First step is preliminary test. In preliminary test we are observing the state. See here the state is crystalline. The salt is crystalline. So I am observing the color. See the color, light pink color. The salt is light pink color. So it may be Mn2 plus ion. So I am checking for solubility. Now I move to solubility. I take a salt. The salt is now flesh or pink color salt. This is. So I am adding water. See, salt plus water, shake well. Salt plus water, shake well. See, I am taking salt plus water and shake well. So you have to shake well or you can heat, because this salt is soluble in hot water. So I am getting a clear solution. So the salt is soluble in water. So original solution is salt plus water. Now I move to second step of the experiment, detection of acid radical. For detection of first group acid radical, I take salt and add dilute HCl. Salt plus dilute HCl. No brisk effervescence or no reaction. So first group acid radical absent. Detection of second group acid radical. I am taking salt in a dry test tube and I am adding concentrated sulfuric acid to this. Take salt in a dry test tube, salt in a dry test tube and concentrated sulfuric acid. See, I am adding a concentrated sulfuric acid to this. Salt in a dry test tube. I am adding concentrated sulfuric acid. See here, no reaction in cold. I am not getting any characteristics gas in the cold condition. So I am heating this test tube by adding copper turnings. I am heating this test tube by adding, this is copper turnings. See here. First I take salt and concentrated sulfuric acid in a dry test tube. In cold condition I am not getting any characteristics gas. So I am heating the test tube by adding copper turnings. See here. Even on heating also I am not getting any characteristics gas like orange color or white color. I am not getting any characteristics gas. So second group acid radical absent. Detection of third group acid radical. For this I take salt solution, salt plus water, salt solution. This is salt solution. I take 2 to 3 drops of salt solution and adding barium chloride solution to this. Detection of third group acid radical. For this I am taking salt solution and add barium chloride. See, I am adding barium chloride solution. I am getting thick white precipitate. Thick white precipitate. Formation of thick white precipitate indicates that third group sulfate present. I am doing confirmative test. For confirmation, for the above precipitate, I am adding excess of dilute HCl. For confirmation, I am adding, for the above precipitate, I am adding excess of dilute HCl. Here, the precipitate is insoluble. The PPT is insoluble. It confirms that the third group acid radical present and it is sulfate. This is the confirmative test for sulfate. Then now I move to detection of basic radical. First I am doing detection of zero group basic radical, that is original solution plus dilute HCl. So I am not getting anything, no PPT. Then I move to second group basic radical. For second group basic radical, I am taking original solution plus dilute HCl plus H2S gas, no PPT. Second group basic radical absent. So for detection of third group basic radical, I take original solution. I take original solution. So for this original solution, I am adding solid NH4Cl. Then I am adding NH4OH solution excess. See here, I am taking original solution, solid NH4Cl and NH4OH excess. I am not getting any precipitate. So, I am adding H2S. For this, I am adding H2S. See here, this becomes fourth group. So, see here, I am taking original solution. I am adding solid NH4Cl plus NH4OH excess. Then I am adding H2S gas. I am getting buff color precipitate. Buff color precipitate indicates the presence of fourth group basic radical Mn2+. Fourth group basic radical Mn2+ present. Now I am doing CT, confirmative test for fourth group basic radical Mn2+. For this, I am taking original solution. For this, I am taking, see here, this is original solution. For this original solution, I am adding NaOH. Original solution plus NaOH. I am doing CT for Mn2+ ion. Here I am taking original solution plus NaOH. So observe what happens. I am getting a precipitate which turns brown and exposed to air. See here. First I take original solution. I am adding NaOH solution. I get a precipitate. That precipitate turns brown and exposed to air. This confirms the presence of Mn2+ ion. So our salt contains acid radical sulfate, basic radical Mn2+. So if you get light pink or flesh color salt, the salt is MnSO₄. See, acid radical sulfate, basic radical Mn2+. So our salt is manganese sulphate. If you get light pink color salt, here that is MnSO₄, manganese sulphate.